authorization is the company which is actually marketing the drug into the market, right? So they are supposed to document this, they are supposed to analyze this. Depending on the analysis, they have to also have risk mitigation programs, like how we can minimize risk of this particular drug in the marketplace, so that the patient who are the final consumer of our product, they are not affected badly. Now, I will give you one example, very recent example. Paracetamol, we have been thinking that it's a very safe drug. So first myth is people feel that if the drug is there out in the market, all drugs are very safe. Please remember, all the drugs which come to the market, 100% of the drug, 100% of the time, or 100% of the people are not safe. Okay? There would be cases where patients will have adverse drug effects or side effects. And we have to actually monitor that, we have to record them, we have to analyze them, and depending on our analysis, you have heard or you must be knowing that there is a small what we call as a PIL or PI or SMPC or leaflet. Have you heard of leaflet?
Yes.
Which is there in the carton or which comes with the injection leaflet, right? So in leaflet there is a section of 4 which gives you all the untoward or unwanted or adverse drug reaction section. So if the patient is supposed, doctors are supposed to read that and understand that by taking this particular drug, besides taking or experience the efficacy, I may get some problem, and these problems are already listed in this leaflet. Okay, so all the companies they have documented this, and they have signal detection process, and then when they confirm that yes, our drug can cause something like this, then they have to change this PIL so that the patient who is taking your drug is now informed that this drug might have some problem if the drug is being taken. Okay? So this whole entire process is controlled by pharmacovigilance. Now, my great country India has got tremendous advantage, and that's why where your future is lying. Right? Now, India is such a huge country. India is known as the pharmacy of the world because there are. We know that India is the biggest exporter of the vaccine to the world, right? Then most of the APIs which is going to US and EU is going from India, right? Now, of course, China is competing with us. And very importantly for all of you, and especially those who are going to be interested in pharmacovigilance, a lot of pharmacovigilance activities or processes are being outsourced to India. You would be surprised to know that 80% of the cases are, we call it as ICSRs. These are being processed by Indian KPOs like TCS and Capgemini, not that, sorry, Cognizant and Accenture and all these companies are known as KPOs. They are processing 80% of the case to the tune of 3 million, 30 lakh cases are being processed by Indian companies in India for all the big multinational companies. So there is a lot of what we call potential opportunity for people to get into all this type of roles, which I will talk to you. And of course, India, because people feel that the medical expertise is available in India, and also Indians speak good English, and that's why India has got this particular advantage. So all these advantages are available to all of you who are sitting here and who are going to be a job seeker at the end of the final year, B.Pharm or M.Pharm. Okay? Now this is the scope of advantage what India has. So rapid introduction of new chemical entities. So there are a lot of clinical trials happening in India because we have naive populations who are not actually exposed to drugs, and your clinical trial means that you have a naive population. Or there are people of all diseases at all the levels, so it becomes very easy to actually, take or get the desired number of patients or subjects for your clinical trial. So then presence of lakhs of formulations in domestic market, presence of large number of licensed manufacturers in India, you should be proud that India has got the largest FDA approved manufacturing plant in India outside US. Getting FDA approval for manufacturing plant is very, very difficult process. US FDA does not approve manufacturing plants as the plants which are approved by US FDA outside US. PV outsourcing, you understand what is outsourcing? Have you heard this term? Outsourcing? How many people know outsourcing? What is outsourcing? Okay. एक हाथ को उठा, वेरी गुड. आउटसोर्सिंग. तुम्हारे यहाँ घर में शादी होती है ना, शादी बड़ी बड़ी शादी होती है ना, शादी में जो कैटरिंग करता है और वो जब सब टेबल वेबल लगाता है और लोगों को सर्व करता है, वो तुम्हारे घर के लोग करते हैं या कोई दूसरा कॉन्ट्रैक्टर करता है? कॉन्ट्रैक्टर करता है. तो व्हाट आर यू डूइंग? You are outsourcing your entire function and management of your wedding ceremony to a vendor. That is called outsourcing. Okay? So इसी तरीके से India is the biggest destination of outsourcing of pharmacovigilance work. So like my company, where I was in Johnson & Johnson or Roche or Pfizer and Glaxo, and you won't imagine that how many people or personnel are required for this outsourcing work. I will just give you one example. I will just give you one example. It will make it very clear to you that what is the volume of number which is really required for a big KPO like Accenture or TCS. TCS is only one of the companies which have got a lot of multinational companies for which they are doing the case process. And fortunately for TCS, Roche is with them, right? So entire Roche case processing and further other processes are being taken care by TCS alone. You know how many people are working on Roche project in TCS? Do you have any idea? Have you heard of TCS? I hope you have heard of TCS. Yes, good. I'm happy you know this. So, you know how many people are working only on Roche projects? Any idea? 10, 50, 60, 100, 200? There are 1,000 people working only on Roche projects. 1,000 people working only on Roche projects. And there are more and more companies coming up with outsourcing in India, and that's why the potential for farms or healthcare graduates and medical graduates to get more and more jobs in pharmacovigilance related positions, right? And so that's an outsourcing scenario for you. Now, I would like to see career opportunities and industry expectations, okay? So first thing, you have heard only of pharmacovigilance, right? So pharmacovigilance is not only for the pharmaceutical product. There are, now this is expanding. So the nature and requirement and the scope of pharmacovigilance is also expanding very rapidly. So yesterday we were just doing pharmacovigilance of the ethical drugs or what we called as the pharmaceutical product. Today we have medical devices. I hope you understand medical devices, right? Can you give me an example of a medical device? Glucometer. Yes. What else? Stethoscope. But if you call me medical device, which is purely, I mean, there are category 1, category 2, and type 2, type 1, type 2, type 3 medical devices. So the medical devices like insulin pens, Okay, these are a typical medical devices where there can be a lot of mishaps because if the medical device is not working, then it can have serious repercussions on the patient who is taking insulin. Right? So now all medical devices you have to have vigilance. So you only had with pharma drugs formulation. Now you have medical devices. Now you have cosmetics. So we are supposed to do vigilance about the cosmetics. Now you have veterinary, so we are doing now vigilance about the veterinary products itself. Then you have now nutritional, so people are doing pharmacovigilance of nutrition as well. Then you have Ayurveda and you have the Unani medicine. So you have pharmacovigilance about Ayurveda and also about the Unani medicine. So there are so many things. So we have pharmacovigilance, material vigilance is nothing but the medical devices. Then you have vaccinovigilance. Then you have cosmeticovigilance. You have nutri-vigilance, and you have other vigilance types. So slowly, the scope of pharmacovigilance is increasing, and that's why your potential of getting a job in pharmacovigilance also is increasing rapidly. Okay. So PV outsourcing roles and responsibilities of pharmacovigilance professionals. What sort of roles and responsibilities you people can think of? I have some more slides on that. But let me explain it to you. Okay. So I said pharmacovigilance is all about detecting, identifying, recording, documenting, and analyzing all adverse drug events or drugs which you have marketed. So you need people there, right? That's what I told. That you are not only doing the case processing in a company like TCS for all. So you need people who will be getting the first information at the place where you are working. Then you are supposed to analyze this information. You have to enter this data into the various safety databases for the available. Then there are people who are actually doing quality checks. So you need pharmacists graduate to check if the data entered was correct. Then you need medical expert to see that the information which has been added, they have to do better coding, and they have to see the seriousness assessment of the drug, they have to see the labeling of the drug. So all these things are being done by medical graduates. Okay. Then you need regulatory person, a regulatory person decide what type of cases are required to be submitted to various regulatory agencies of the world. And there are strict timelines. My dear friend Aisha is sitting here. She is our global regulatory senior manager from Abbott and one of my junior colleagues. She is here. Just say hello to her. Yeah, she has come all the way from Mumbai just to be here with you people. Okay, and we can share her experience. So I just want to bring it to your notice, to understand how important and critical is drug reporting. So suppose if you are doing a clinical trial in okay, you are doing a clinical trial in India, and there is a site, there is a hospital in Chinchpokli, and if there is a unexpected serious adverse drug reaction, which is life-threatening, within 7 calendar days, this should be reported to all the regulators of the countries where this particular clinical trial is ongoing. Do you understand? If you are doing, suppose ABC is a new molecule, you are doing a clinical trial. And this clinical trial is being done in 11 countries, and in each country there are 10 sites. Okay. So, in case if there is an serious unexpected adverse drug reaction, which is fatal or which is life-threatening, then this particular case, your watch or your clock starts on the day when this incident has happened. And within 7 days, you have to capture all the information, you have to analyze all the information, and this information must go to all the 10 countries where this particular clinical trial is ongoing. So you have only 6 days basically in hand to process everything and send it to the required regulatory authority. So that is the type of information, important and urgency and sensitivity of such clinical trials and safety associated with all this clinical trial. So there is a lot of documentation work, then there is a lot of collaboration work. So collaboration within the pharmaceutical industry, I mean, I as a pharmacovigilance person, I am not working alone. With me there are so many other functions who are working. Please just wake that gentleman up, please. Yeah, there. He has gone into sleep. Here, yeah. Please, get up, please. Just get up. If you are not interested, you can please leave the hall, right? I don't want you to sleep. मैं क्या लोरी गा रहा हूँ क्या? हाँ? तुमको कुछ इंटरेस्ट नहीं है अपने इसके बारे में? Okay, fine. So, where I was? Yeah. So I'm not working in a solo container as a pharmacovigilance expert. I have regulatory affairs people. They have to work with me. I have medical affairs people. They have to work with me. I have marketing people. They have to work with me. We have sales people. They have to work with me. There are vendors. They have to work with me. So we need professionals in all these spheres, and then you need to do collaborations with all these functions which is working in the particular organization where you are working as a pharmacovigilance personnel. And audits and inspection, so that's my area. Okay. So inspection is what? Inspection is that when a drug regulatory authority, they may inspect you at any time because they are responsible for the healthcare and well-being of their citizens, right? So unfortunately in India, we are not having any inspections from our DCGI. Though I have trained them, most of them, I had taken 1 week session for them, workshop, but still our DCGI is not having any inspection. But US FDA, MHRA, BFARM, ASAP, all these regulatory authorities, they are having regulatory inspection of all the companies who are selling and marketing their drug where? In the marketplace. Because they want that their citizens, because they are the watchdogs, they are the guardians of the health of their own citizens. So they would like to have the pharma companies must comply with all the regulations which is known in case of FDA, this is known as 483, right ma'am? So if you get this 483, that means this is a warning signal for your company and you have to actually take care of your all critical processes. And this does not remain between US FDA and the company. There is a big website of US FDA which is called MedWatch. So you people must actually, now if you do not know the DCGI's name, I don't expect you people that you might have visited US FDA website, MedWatch. It is full of information on drug safety. Similarly, WHO has got a website. Similarly, ISoP has got a website. So all these websites do get a lot of information on pharmacovigilance and pharmacovigilance related and drug risk related issues on all these websites. So this US FDA, what does it do? It actually puts up the warning letter on their website. And everybody in that means it is in the public domain. That means that everybody in the world comes to know that this particular company was inspected by US FDA and there were these critical findings, and nobody would like to have this stigma. No company would like to have this stigma against them, and that's why they have to be very, very sure that when the inspectors come, they do not have any finding, and that's why they keep doing internal audit so that they comply with all regulation, all regulatory requirement which is there in the place. So these are the various type of roles. Okay, so let's see careers in pharmacovigilance, right? So, in fact, okay. So you have pharma companies, you have CROs. What is CRO? What is the full form of CRO? What is the full form of CRO? Anybody? Loudly, little loudly. नहीं मालूम है? No. Contract research organization. Can you give me an example of any contract research organization? Any CRO have you heard of in India? IQVIA, right. IQVIA is one of the biggest, right? These are one of the CRO. Diagnosearch is another one. So there are many CROs. They are contract research organization. Again, these are all what is basically part of the outsourcing. That if you are doing, if Abbott is doing a clinical trial or Glaxo is doing clinical trial, they don't have sufficient manpower, they don't have people, so they would outsource their entire clinical research activity to a big company or vendor like IQVIA, and they will manage the entire clinical trial on behalf of the company, which is the sponsor company. So you have job opportunities in CROs, then you have job opportunities in regulatory agencies, okay, or regulatory like US FDA has got, you'll be surprised to know that US FDA, the CDER has got 150 biostatisticians alone. 150 biostatisticians alone in CDER. I like that they have got 3 divisions. So there are a lot of vacancies, there are a lot of requirements in all the regulatory agencies. Then you have, you have medical college and hospitals, you have KPOs, we have discussed, you have got biotech companies like PVCON, and you have pharma companies like many others. PVCON, do you know PVCON is famous for what? Who is the most famous madam in India who is considered as one of the thought leaders in Indian pharma industry? Yes, somebody said. What is PVCON famous for? Have you heard of biosimilars? What are biosimilars? No? I think we will have to do something about this. You have never heard of biosimilars? No? Have you heard of Kiran Majumdar?
Yes.
She is the president and CEO of PVCON, and PVCON is famous for manufacturing insulin. Okay? A biosimilar product. Because it is called biosimilar because our body creates what? Insulin, right? By which gland? Pancreas. Which cells? Beta cells. So the insulin which is created inside is also manufactured outside body, and since it is similar to our biological enzyme, this particular product which is organically manufactured is called biosimilar. Okay? So you have companies like PVCONs and biotech companies. Then now these are the various career opportunities which are available for you. Okay, so you have audits and vendor management, you have safety operations, you have TPPV service, you have literature monitoring, you have risk management, then technology, then aggregate report, safety information management, and safety content services. Now I just want to, first I will come to my next slide, and then probably I will be able to tell you more about it. So typical PV career path. So if you ask me what is the PV career path, you start with number one, the first step is as a trainee or as a junior associate. You start there as a pharmacovigilance professional. The second will be the senior assistant or associate or senior scientist. Then after that you may go to team lead. This will be your fourth one, and then you can go as a director or VP, and after that You can also become a qualified person for pharmacovigilance, which is known as QPPV. I will talk to you about QPPV because I have a very interesting example to share with you. Okay. Okay. So what are the expectations? Technical knowledge, basic pharma, clinical pharmacology, technology, communication skills, and behavioral skills. These are the expectations when you go out in the marketplace looking for jobs. Okay? Okay. Now, before I come to this, I just want to share a personal anecdote, a personal real life story with you people. Okay? I was teaching a MSc batch of medical pharmaceutical sciences in the Maharashtra College of Pharmaceutical Sciences in KEM College. And there were students like this, just was in front of me. And I would always like to, I would like to give incentives and encourage people that what actually lies in front of them. So if you see the pharmacovigilance career, you start from the junior most rank, which is a junior data analyst, or it is associate. Then you move on to the senior scientist. Then you move on to the quality assurance person. Then you move on to medical writer, like aggregate reports. And then you go into the pharmacovigilance senior scientist or data analyst, like signal management and regulatory expert. At the top of the heap, that is the last topmost ladder in the pharmacovigilance quality chain, is something called qualified person for pharmacovigilance, QPPV. Please remember this. This term you will see or listen again and again. Qualified person for pharmacovigilance, QPPV. Without QPPV in Europe, you cannot have your pharmaceutical company. Okay? Because when you want to register your product into Europe, all the states, you need your qualified person to be registered first, and that qualified person will register your products into Vigilance or EMA through their websites, and this is totally electronic processes. So the QPPV is the most important person, and he is responsible for safety of all the products which are being marketed by you or your company. If anything goes wrong, the first person who would be arrested or the first person who would get a call from EMA or from MHRA or from any European regulatory authority, it will be who? It will be QPPV. So it's a very, very important, it is very, very critical position, and that's why it is highly paid position. It is highly paid position. They are all vice presidents, they are senior directors, and there are contractual QPPVs. Contractual QPPV. So I can become a contractual QPPV. So I can be giving my services to 3-4 smaller companies who cannot have a full-time QPPV. You know how much they pay to a contractual QPPV? You have any idea? The contractual QPPV normally charge $1,000 per hour. $1,000 per hour. That is almost how much? 80,000 to 90,000 rupees per hour. So if they have given 10 hours for your company, they will charge you 10 lakh rupees for that particular month. And depending on how many more companies or more hours they will be putting, this you can multiply by 10,000, $1,000. So that is the position which anybody sitting here can occupy. The only restriction is that you have to be part of EEA. You have to be placed in European area, EEA. Okay? If you are located in EEA, by starting at the lowest rank, you can go to the highest rank of QPPV, provided you are ready to shift your location from India. Who is heading Google? I mean, there are so many Sundar Pichais in US, and they are all Indian guys, right? And they are doing fantastically well. Please get up and share my dear friend, Dr. Joan. She has come all the way from Switzerland to address you people. Please appreciate that, her effect. And she is a Mumbaiker, by the way. She is a Vadapav girl. But now, of course, she is. 3 days back, I was talking to her and she said, Moin, this is -4 here in Switzerland. I was talking to Ranjana the other day. She told me it is -4. I said, okay. I said, I should immediately come there now. So where I was on QPPV. She will talk to you more about QPPV. Okay? So, I was telling this thing to my MSc students batch that one of you can be a QPPV, only you have to shift your residence, your location from Mumbai to European country like what she has done. Okay? She is born and brought up in Mumbai. So after around 10 years, I got an email from one of my students called Ganesh. And he said, my respected Moin sir, I am very happy to inform you that I took the example you set in front of me very seriously, and now I am QPPV of this particular company. Okay? So, I can tell you that if Ganesh can become a QPPV of a big company, I think anybody who's sitting here can also become a big company QPPV in coming years. You can be another Sundar Pichai sitting somewhere over here, right? Or you can be, what is that PepsiCo lady? What is her name? Yeah, Indra Nui, right? Indra Nui. But then you have to have that skill set, and you have to have that commitment of Indra Nui. Indra Nui once wrote that if I get an email at 2:35 in the night from my line manager, on 2:37 I responded to him, okay, in the middle of the night. That type of commitment is required. So you have to decide now what sort of commitment is required, what type of hard work, skill work is required to go to that particular level. But then you have to start somewhere from the basic ladder, the lowermost step of the ladder, that you have to start with your pharmacovigilance career, and the sky is the only limit. The sky is the only limit. I will give you an example, another example. This is not actually relevant to pharmacovigilance, but what I'm trying to tell you that if you have the talent, and if you nurture your talent, and if you develop that particular skill set, you can be another Tanmay Bakshi. Have you heard of this guy, this boy, Tanmay Bakshi? Please go and write Tanmay Bakshi and his interview with Google. He is a 13-year-old student of 9th class. He is a 13-year-old student of 9th class. He has been hired by Google at a salary of 66 lakh rupees per month. 66 lakh rupees per month, 13-year-old Tanmay, and you see his interview, please. It will be an inspiration. It will ignite your inspiration. The way he talks, his body language, his confidence, his English speaking abilities, and his domain knowledge on artificial intelligence, my goodness, it is mind-boggling, amazing. So today when you go back home, please just Google for Tanmay Bakshi and you will find the entire interview which was taken by Google at the time of selection and see how he speaks and what he speaks. Right? So these are some of the role models what I have told you, that the sky is the only limit, and pharmacovigilance has got so much of opportunities in near future right now and once you finish with your pharmacy. And I can assure you that I am here. I have been always telling Dr. Sharik, I have been telling Dr. Sufyan that I am always there to whatever kind of help you need from me and from my team. That's why I have got these two ladies over here, and that's why when Dr. Joan told me that I am in Bombay, I did not think anything else. I thought I must bring Dr. Joan here so that she can address you, and she was our past International Society of Pharmacovigilance Swiss chapter lead. Okay, and currently she is working as a freelance consultant, and she is highly knowledgeable, highly accomplished, and very well pharmacovigilance known expert in Europe. So it's very happy day for us, and there we feel so pleased, Joanne, that you accepted my invitation and you came all the way over here. Right? I think I have finished with this. I don't think, okay. There are some more slides, but since Joanne is here, let us get ahead because we are already getting late. It is 11:45. The pharmacovigilance world is changing. Okay, so you should remember this. Previously, we had only very safe and established molecules. Now, from there, we are coming to what is known as new molecules. What I talked about, biosimilars, monoclonal antibodies. Then we are going further one step as that is we are coming up with medical devices, and we are coming with medical devices loaded with medicine like medicated stents, right? Then we are getting into technology because of technology, because without technology the pharmacovigilance world cannot be tackled, right? And when we get into technology, we are getting into artificial intelligence. So the entire pharma world is changing rapidly, and you have got so many spaces here for you to capture these opportunities. And please remember that your communication skills should be excellent. I'm telling you this. This is the biggest problem I have found out with students whom I actually refer, that they actually fall flat despite having good technical knowledge. They cannot express themselves because their communication skills are not good. So please, you besides your technical knowledge and domain knowledge, you have to work on your personality and especially on your communication skills if you really want to end up with a good job in industry or in the marketplace. I will just give you one data and I will finish my lecture. A few days back in Times of India, there was a news that 67% graduates of India are skill sets or lack of skill sets. 67% of graduates of all kinds are unemployable because they lack the skill sets which is required for employment. So you have to check yourself. You stand in front of the mirror and see whether I am from the 33% or I am in the class of 67%. So what are the chances that I will get a good job? Okay. So I wish you all the best, and I am always available at your disposal. I am there on the LinkedIn. You can send me your LinkedIn request, and you can be always in touch with me through LinkedIn. And of course, I am part and parcel of this particular institute. So as and when it is required, Dr. Sufyan or Dr. Sharik can always call me. I will be there to help you out, to mentor you, to guide you. And maybe one day somebody from you write to me that, Moin sir, I have become a QPPV
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights on the current scenario and its critical timeline focus in pharmacovigilance area with drug safety. Thank you so much. Dear participants, it's my pleasure to introduce our distinguished guest, Dr. Joan D'souza, ma'am. She holds a bachelor degree in homeopathic medicine and surgery from University of Mumbai. She is also a PhD in pharmaceutical law from University of Strasbourg, France. Her research focuses on the regulation of post-marketing safety surveillance for drug-device combination products. They have an extensive academic and research background, including work at the universities of Connecticut, University of Cincinnati, and University of Dayton College of Law. Ma'am has been actively involved in pharmacovigilance, serving as a past chair for International Society of Pharmacovigilance in Switzerland and Austria, and also a member of various special interest groups. Additionally, she is a member of European Medical Writer Association with expertise in regulatory compliance for medical devices. Her dedication and contribution to the field make them valuable asset, and we are honored, ma'am, to have you today over here. Please join me for welcoming ma'am. She will enlighten us with her expertise today to detect, prevent, protect the power of pharmacovigilance. Welcome, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you so much for this very enlightening session that you all have arranged, especially with Professor Moin Don. He has been my mentor, my guide throughout, and he's given me a number of opportunities, and I'm so grateful to you, Dr. Don. So give a big clap for him. Just to give a very good introduction about me. I currently, yes, I have quite a few leads. I kind of extend myself in various things, various opportunities, inspired by Professor Moin Don and many of us here. I try to be always with positive people, especially with positive pharmacovigilance and dedicated pharmacovigilance like Professor Moin Don, so then I can learn more about patient safety. I'm a very, very strong advocate of patient safety, ensuring that we are always ahead of making sure that patients are protected. We are always making sure that patient safety is our primary motive. So currently I am a student postdoctor, QPPV, for almost 3 good biotech and mid-sized pharmaceutical companies, as well as a technician verantwortlich person. That means a person who kind of tries to maintain quality work for pharmaceutical molecules. So I'm also...
So they have guessed what salary you are getting.
And I'm sure if, as Dr. Moin Don said, if someone like me can become, as you know, and someone like Dr. Dnyaneshwar Sanapi is a very good friend of mine too, I'm sure each one of you can become here. And if you need any support, guidance, please also connect with me through LinkedIn. I'll be very, very happy to support you, because we have to kind of keep developing our skills, especially, you know, India is my mother country. I mean, I'm born and brought up in Mumbai. So my motive is to ensure that we all are growing in the field of patient safety. To also make sure that I want to also give a touch to ISoP, International Society of Pharmacovigilance. In fact, I had taken a break in between, due to my personal obligations, and I restarted my career with International Society of Pharmacovigilance. And I'm very grateful to that society, because they gave me n number of opportunities to extend my, to develop my skill sets. And I would also encourage you to join International Society of Pharmacovigilance. Dr. Moin Don knows that there are many, many special interest groups besides chapters, which is led by Southeast Asia, which is led by Professor Moin Don. We also have special interest groups. I'm sure you cannot join us with an Austria chapter because you don't live there, but you can join the Southeast Asia chapter. You can join the students group, which is led by Dr. Manal Yunus. So, Dr. Ryan is also there. So I'm just trying to ensure that in special interest groups, we have n number of special interest groups in ISoP. And if you want something special, we can also propose. Because recently we have started patient pharmacovigilance awareness special interest group, which is led by Dr. Rebecca Noss. And if you need any support from that area, I can always talk to her. And I guess if you sign up from India, you also get a discount, right? I mean, so you don't have to pay the big lump sum of annual fees like what the others pay. But if you come from LMIC countries, you are given a special discounted offer. And I would really encourage you to join, especially my risk communication. I'm the general secretary there as well as for medical devices. We are really doing well in that group. We have chapter quarterly meetings. We have annual conferences, and this year we are going to have it in Cairo. And I would really encourage you to join that. Also, SOPICON, I was there last week at All India Medical Institute of Sciences, which is also very thriving. And they appointed me as an international secretary there. But regardless, I'm saying, try to be active in pharmacovigilance. The whole point is that you will keep learning from experts. You will keep growing in this area. And without patient safety, we don't have, pharmaceutical companies just cannot run. I'm also kind of starting a new, it's actually, I've been dedicated to be the European and US chapter for Society of Clinical Research and Medical Professionals, and we are starting a pharmacovigilance group there. And just to kind of set you up that we have 1 year free memberships. If you want to join that group, you're welcome to join as well. So anyways, saying all this, pharmacovigilance is something that we are all growing from each other, learning from each other. We are learning from all experts like Professor Moin Don. So this is a definition, I'm sure by now you all are aware of it, that what are we doing in pharmacovigilance? We are not just detecting adverse events, we are not just detecting adverse drug reactions or serious adverse drug reactions, but we are also trying to assess it, we are trying to understand it, and we are also ensuring that we have a prophylactic or we prevent these adverse events from happening in the future. That is why we have this risk minimization measures, we have RMPs plans here, we periodically have the safety update report. The issue here is that we are not only just trying to ensure that the risks are detected, but they are also minimized, and we try to maintain a positive benefit-risk profile of a drug. So the life cycle of a drug is always monitored, ensuring that the benefit scale always outweighs the risks of the drugs that the drug portrays. So that is to enhance patient safety and to improve healthcare outcomes. So I just want to go before that and understand how many of you here are really interested in pursuing a career in pharmacovigilance, or that would be my first question before we kind of move ahead in the slides. Can you just raise hand? Okay. So I can see quite a few here, and I'm sure you are like, I'm sure 100% sure that you will grow and sky is the limit there. And I guess the rest of you are here to understand what is pharmacovigilance, which is very good. Then you know where you're standing, which field you want to take, pharmacovigilance or clinical research. So I just get an idea of where you are and how much interest you have in this field. So just to go ahead, is pharmacovigilance is what we are trying to hear is preventing harm from adverse drug reactions. And the whole objective here is we are trying to reduce healthcare costs. We are also ensuring regulatory compliance. And most of us, we say, okay, pharmacovigilance is nothing, but it is it's draining your cost, you're investing money there. But no, without that, we cannot reduce our healthcare cost. As Dr. Moin Don said, Professor Moin Don said that we cannot even improve the quality of our medications. And none of the, regardless of where you are, where the pharmaceutical company is, whether it's in India, whether it's in Germany, whether it's in Switzerland, whether it's in developed countries, we have to have a pharmacovigilance department. Without that, we cannot just survive. The pharmaceutical, it won't be compliant according to the regulatory needs. So the purpose is to build public trust in medications. The purpose is to ensure that we are consistently compliant. So for me as a Stufenplan-Beobachter, or for me as a Fachtechnisch verantwortliche Person, I have to ensure that I consistently report whatever adverse drug reactions are there to the BaFin, or to the Swissmedic, or to BASAC, or to the Liechtenstein office, health authority. Because without that, the company won't be compliant. Without that, we are not ensuring public trust in medications. So here again the objective of pharmacovigilance is in order to understand that we are detecting new adverse drug reactions, we are constantly understanding the key performance indicators here, we are updating our PSMFs here. How many of you know what is a PSMF? Okay, PSMF is a pharmacovigilance systematic master file. So here we are trying to ensure that the whole entire pharmacovigilance. So sometimes, if you kind of go ahead in pharmacovigilance, you will be kind of given that entire portfolio to handle for a particular molecule. An entire PSMF, like I do, like I have to constantly update the PSMF. I have to constantly update the annexes. And I'm learning a lot. I'm enjoying my job a lot. And that's why probably I'm standing here in front of Professor Moin Don. And so this is the three pillars we are trying to here is to detect, identify adverse drug reactions through reports, clinical trials, and surveillance. So I'm not sure, I'm sorry I missed some of the session in the earlier, and it could be a repetition of, whatever Professor Moin Don must have covered earlier. But in pharmacovigilance, we are trying to have a very proactive approach. What does that mean? Proactive approach means that we are trying to assess adverse drug reactions not just when it is in post-marketing surveillance phase, but also in the clinical trial space. So we are trying to have a proactive approach, we are trying to detect adverse drug reactions, and then we develop a plan, or we develop a safety update report, which is called as a DSUR. I'm sure Dr. Moin Don must have covered that as well. So we have a DSUR in clinical trials, we have a development safety update report during clinical trial, and then we have the PSUR during the post-marketing safety surveillance. So the whole idea is that we are trying to be very, very proactive, right from not just in post-marketing safety surveillance, but also during clinical trials. And we are to prevent it. So we use a lot of data. So I would encourage you not just to learn about PV operations. You're not just learning about case processing. You're not just learning about, medical reviews or, like to, to do the causality assessment, or, you just don't want to kind of keep submitting adverse drug reactions. But you also encourage you to take thorough cases in epidemiology, because without that you wouldn't understand how the landscape works. So, excuse me. So if Udemy offers you, or Coursera, those are like free courses, or very cheap, I would encourage you to take courses in epidemiology, especially, to understand, and also artificial intelligence nowadays. I'm sure the school is offering, I saw your syllabus. So make use of all this. But I would encourage, just don't stick to PV operations, because right now there are jobs in many, many areas of PV. Not just in PV ops, but you can also do alliance, you can also do audits, you can also do signal detection, and whatever you pick, because when I started my PV career, I was trying to run for every other field to learn. I wanted to learn everything about case processing. I wanted to learn everything about signal detection, audits, epidemiology, whatever was offered in PV. But what happened in that process was, it was like too much of information. So try to be focused. Try to once you pick some area of PV, focus in that area and grow and expand and learn more in that area. That way you will learn more expertise, because PV is huge. PV has so much to offer. So, although it seems like a very small field within the entire landscape of, medical affairs, but PV offers a lot of scope, and try to be specialized in that one area. So that would be my advice to you. So I wouldn't want to really talk about ADRs. I'm sure you all know about what are ADRs, adverse drug reactions, but we also have serious adverse events. We have something called SUSARs as well. And in SUSARs are specially submitted in Swissmedic. I'm not a lecturer like Professor Moin Don, so I'm just I'm a freelancer consultant, so I don't have expertise in talking like a professor. But I would say that SUSARs are something which are submitted in Swissmedic. So I'm not sure in India what is submitted. I mean, I think serious adverse events as well. Okay, so SUSARs and Germany, DAG, they only accept SUSARs, So make sure that you understand what is a SUSAR, whether it is suspected, unexpected serious adverse drug reaction. So, and what are the reporting guidelines? What are the reporting time frames? So these are certain basic knowledge that you will have to learn. Because without that, thousands of hospitalizations will be kind of avoided. Your school must have also taught you, the school, about what are type A, type E reactions, what are type C, type H. I mean, actually in real life, these are like more you learn because when you're studying and all that. But I just wanted to give you a glimpse of type A reactions, which are predictable reactions, such as bleeding with anticoagulants or drowsiness with antihistamines, or type B reactions, these are all different types of ADRs, and unpredictable reactions which are not related to the drug's known effect, and especially not dose dependent and often immune mediated, such as anaphylaxis with penicillin, allergic reactions. And this I just kind of gathered through approximately what happens in India, the frequency in India. So this is something, my slides I can share with you certainly, and you will come to know about these different types of reactions if you're already not aware of it. The type C reactions which persist for a relatively long time, such as the osteonecrosis of the jaw with biphosphonates, or type H reactions which are immune mediated. This is all something which is, you kind of learn when I did my master's in PV. But what I really want you to learn is, in everyday life, you may not have to come across all this, but make sure that you at least have the basic understanding of what are these different types of reactions. So how are ADRs detected? How, there are certain like forms such as the MHRA, we have the yellow card, the FDA offers the med watches, the Swissmedic, we have to go on the Elvis portal and we have to report it through SIOMs. So these are certain reporting ways we kind of submit other ADRs. And signal detection is done throughout. We have electronic health records, which are also a type of reports which help us to detect ADRs. So since I just thought maybe you'll kind of will help here, because most of you, may have the opportunity to work in India. Some of you may have the opportunity to go overseas. But just trying to understand how the ADRs are detected through pharmaceutical companies, who can report ADRs in India, such as the healthcare professionals, patients and consumers, pharmaceutical companies as well, and how ADRs are detected in India through what kind of reporting forms are used. So for healthcare professionals, I think an Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission website offers a suspected adverse drug reaction reporting form. Patients can report through medicine side effect reporting form, and there are mobile apps as well, and there are toll-free helpline if you want to kind of report ADRs. I mean, I thought maybe this could help you if I have to share my slides with you, but in Switzerland we have the Elvis, which we have to report through that, the ADRs, and Germany also has their own portal which you can report the ADRs through, and they have their own, through SIOMs form, which the adverse events are reported. So, India is kind of getting also very, very powerful. In fact, if you want to do PV operations and if you want to learn more about pharmacovigilance, I would really encourage you to practice pharmacovigilance or work in a pharmaceutical company at least for a couple of years in India, even before you kind of go and think to move out. The reason is the amount of exposure that you will get in India through all these pharmaceutical companies and the CROs is amazing, because lots of work is actually getting dedicated and delegated to India, and not in all these, there are like huge positions offered in Switzerland, Germany, US, but they are not doing PV operations. What they are doing is like alliance, or they have like different fields which are going in pharmacovigilance. But if you want to really learn about case processing, if you want to learn about signal detection, if you want to learn more in medical reviews, I would encourage you to at least work in few years in India, in either, wherever you get an opportunity, either in a CRO, even in a pharmaceutical company, I would encourage, and you will get faster jobs. The reason is, most of the CROs and most of the pharmaceutical companies are delegating their pharmacovigilance work to India. So please go ahead and utilize this opportunity. You are in a wonderful country, and you will gain a lot of experience, and that will help you in your future life. Because people are dying. In fact, a lot of my friends and my colleagues overseas are telling me, can we move to India to learn about PV? They want to move here, and we are saying, okay, we don't know our strengths, So it's so funny. I mean, I find that I laugh inside my heart. Why? I mean, I'm an Indian myself, and I moved out. So sometimes I wonder, should I just move back and learn here more and then go back again? So that's sometimes a tempting offer for me. But so I would say that you are in a very lucky. Sometimes we see, oh, the grass is green on the other side. But trust me, there are lots of people who want to learn PV, who want to excel in patient safety, but they cannot, because there are not many opportunities. They cannot learn because all case processing is done in India. All signal detection, most is done. Medical reviews is done. People who are required like me because they live there, they learn German, they are good in German, and they have some pharmaceutical background, and we want to, so then we get jobs like Stufan-Van-Boy-Traktor, we have experience, and QPPVs like what Dr. Daneshwar says. But I would say that if you want to learn basics and if you want to be an expert, because then you will become marketable. I trust you, trust me in my judgment, because I have lived in India as well as overseas. You will become extremely marketable if you just indulge yourself in PV in whatever company you get in India. And then gain your expertise, and then you move out. And then the sky is the limit for all of you. I mean, if you go to the US, you go to UK, you go to Europe, you go to wherever you go, correct? If I'm not, what do you think, Professor Moin Don, if I'm correct? Yeah. So, India is like rolling in PV. And in fact, when I go there, everybody will look at me and they will praise me because I look like an Indian. And and they think that I may be like a very big expert in PV because I'm an Indian by origin. So that's the kind of people are looking at you. So if you say I'm a pharmacovigilant, I'm a dedicated pharmacovigilant, and I come from India, trust me, you will be kind of treated like a god overseas, because that's what they think about you. So I just want to kind of give you key organizations. I'm sure in your you must have learned as well. How do you report? FDA, EMA, who is? I'm sorry. Yeah, I had the privilege of sitting with him for half an hour and learning more about your institutes. I'm very grateful to you to come and listen to my small presentation. So, so I was just talking about FDA, EMA, and who, if you really want to gain expertise in European pharmacovigilance, please read GBP modules and learn everything. It should be your Bible if you want to become a pharmacovigilant. It should be, because all the other pharmacovigilance, whatever is being offered in other GBPs like Arab, or we have the other guidelines which are coming up. Even Iraq has started one. Even Saudi has started one. So it is all these GBP, all these modules or GBP guidelines are, the mother is actually the EMA. Isn't that true, Doctor? Yeah. So please use GBP modules as your Bible. Go through FDA, because everything is just copied and pasted. We are developing the SIOM's working group on benefit risk assessment, which is going to come up soon next month in Feb. So go through that working groups. What are they offering? So I would encourage you to go through all the working groups of SIOM's on SIOM's guidelines. Go through ICH guidelines. Go through GBP guidelines. I mean, these should be your Bible if you want to become a good dedicated pharmacovigilance. And now people are trying to revise their clinical trials. In fact, Swiss, after this, the EMA revised his clinical trials guidelines. The Switzerland was forced to revise. So had the clinical ordinances which were revised just recently. So I would encourage you to look at all these new changes which are happening in the legislation. They were forced. Switzerland was because since I'm there, I would know. I was also I had to learn more about it. So the clinical trial ordinances in Switzerland was forced to become more transparent. They had to dissolve the clinical trial if nobody registered within 2 years. So all these new guidelines, the EUCT's regulations which has come out, the CTIS guidelines, how it works. These are sometimes, I know clinical research is separate and pharmacovigilance. No, clinical research you also have to learn more in detail. You also have to learn pharmacovigilance because they go both hand in hand. So ensure, because we are ensuring your drug safety, we are ensuring your efficacy as well. So, this is just, I want to give you various, because I'm sure Dr. Dr. Moin Don has covered this much more in depth, but please go ahead and know various regulatory authorities, especially the FDA, especially the EMA, so whatever it is, just make sure that you learn in depth about the regulatory agencies which are throughout the world. And I just want to kind of end up with saying that we are events here. The whole idea is we are updating our labels. We are making sure the medication guidelines. We are making sure that the SMPCs are better and better. We are making sure the patient leaves are understandable. We are making sure that healthcare professionals understand what is happening, because how adverse events are detected, how they're updated, how the labeling guidelines. Because in fact, I heard when I was last week at AIMS, I heard that even physicians are very scared to practice pharmacovigilance. They don't want to, they in fact run away with people who are practicing pharmacovigilance because they're scared to be a part of it. But they should be in fact not a foe but a friend, because without us, we are both going hand in hand in order to ensure that we are constantly monitoring drug use. And what happens? We all know that if you're not, what will happen? There'll be recall, there'll be withdrawal. If we kind of we don't actively engage the healthcare providers, and through that process, we are ensuring public awareness of medications so that we have safe use of drugs. So the current challenge is what we have is underreporting. I'm not sure about how it happens, and I'm sure even India has the same problem. But Switzerland has also the same problem of underreporting of ADRs. The data quality and standardization is sometimes poor. Global coordination is not happening, especially harmonization, because Switzerland is a very small country. I can talk because I live there, but the thing is, with Germany and Switzerland, Germany is kind of constantly trying to focus on EMA guidelines. Switzerland has its own guidelines. So how do we bring harmonization? So it's not just about DACH region, but globally. Globally, we have to bring harmonization, because without that, it's not cost effective, correct? What is maybe reported within 15 days in EMA could be not been reported within the same reporting guideline in the FDA. So these are all certain kind of current challenges that we have these days. The future trends and technologies, Dr. Moin Don went in depth about AI, machine learning for signal detection, and I would kind of, they're all strengthening pharmacovigilance. Please go in depth and learn about artificial intelligence, machine learning, natural language processing. So these are all future trends that we have to have for analyzing, predictive analysis to do, analyzing big data, also understanding about transparency for data integrity, blockchain because for transparency. So, I really don't want to go so much in detail. I don't know why my slides are pretty hazy here, but I'm not repeating anything new because I did not attend and I did not coordinate properly. Probably I did not share my slides with you. I'm so sorry about that. But this is a little bit of repetition, but at the same time, I want to make sure that you understand that please focus on all these new technologies which are coming up in the area of, they're working hand in hand. AI is working hand in hand with PV, natural language processing, machine learning, deep learning. All these are working hand in hand with PV as well. Join ISoP, because ISoP has its own chapter of real world data, real world evidence. So please go ahead and learn that, because without that, pharmacovigilance is incomplete again. So, and I just spoke about these pharmacovigilance facing the real world setting, and this is all history that you must have learned about it in your, if you're taking PV in your coursework. But I would kind of consistently support you to understand, learn more in pharmacoepidemiology, learn also pharmacoeconomics, because these are the fields which go hand in hand with PV. So the power of pharmacovigilance is not just to detect, but we are also preventing and protecting to ensure drug safety use. And the call of action here is to reporting adverse drug reactions, which I would constantly promote that. And safety is the foundation of trust in healthcare. So I just wanted to make sure that PV is just a superpower here. And please support and please promote pharmacovigilance. These are certain references that I took, and hopefully, if you want, I can share my slides with you. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you, ma'am, for explaining us the importance of drug safety, its regulatory aspects, and as a pharmacist, our role towards society. Thank you, ma'am and sir, for extended hand of direction to us and willingness to support us to grow in this area. Now I request our guests and all the dignitaries to kindly join us on the stage.
Imran.
Moving further, to thank all our guests with a small felicitation from AIKTC, I request our director sir and all the dignitaries to join us. Moving first with Professor Moin sir, as he is in a brief introduction in the early session. I would also like to add up that he has also been a recipient of Pharma Ratna Award for his lifetime achievement and contribution to drug safety in India. He is also associated with the Government of India's National Pharmacovigilance Program as an advisor and as a trainer in the Indian pharmacovigilance sector, as well as he has internationally in Ukraine health authorities. He has also been training the personals for pharmacovigilance and to bring up over there the setup for pharmacovigilance regulatories. So we welcome and felicitate one, sir, Director sir. Thank you, sir. Next, we request our director, sir, to felicitate Dr. Joanna, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for being us with your overall internationally coming down to us to AIKTC to give us the vision of pharmacovigilance, and surely we will move forward with it. Thank you, ma'am. We also have Aisha Ahmed, ma'am, with us, a professional with 16 years experience and currently working as a manager of global regulatory affairs at Abbott Healthcare. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am, and thank you for being here. We also like to felicitate Asna, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for being over here, for guiding us. Moving further, now I request Dr. Abu Sufyan, sir, to please present the vote of thanks.
Hi friends, see the whole idea of getting this under ISoP banner was that you people get a certificate from a South Asia chapter. I'm the lead of that, so that your CV value really goes up. Okay, so thank you very much for attending this particular session, and I sincerely hope this session was really beneficial to you, and if not everything what was spoken in front of you, at least part of it has really gone inside and you have imbibed and you have at least understood what is the value of pharmacovigilance in today's world and tomorrow. And it really augurs well for your future if you take up pharmacovigilance as your main domain after finishing your BPharm. So ISoP is a very big international body, International Society of Pharmacovigilance, where pharmacovigilance professional scientists come together. It has got a headquarters and then they have their own various bodies. And as a students, what you people can really get, there are student chapters like Dr. Joanne said, and Manal Yusuf is the student chapter lead. There are special interest groups, so in case if somebody has got a special interest in a particular domain, then you can join them. India comes under the low bracket income groups, so there is subsidized and discounted rates for becoming a member of the ISoP. There is an ISoP website where a lot of information is available on jobs and other there are webinars and seminars are held, and there are other functions are held every year, and you can be part of those webinars and seminars and you can attend. And there is a very important magazine called Drug Safety, which is available online. So once you get associated with ISoP, you can also go through or get access to this particular journal, which is known as a Drug Safety, where you will get the latest information and updates on the drugs and pharmaceuticals on a day-to-day basis. So this was a little bit about the ISoP, which I wanted to really let you know. And I really wish you all the best, and I hope you will excel in your profession, whatever profession you take. And as assured by me earlier or by my friend Dr. Joanne, that we are always there to help you. She is also on LinkedIn, I am also on LinkedIn, and of course I am just one call away. You can always call me, or I am always in touch with Dr. Abu Sufyan and Dr. Sharik. So I will be at your disposal as and when it is required, and I wish you all the best once again. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Reshma. I, Dr. Abu Sufyan, take this opportunity to propose the vote of thanks for today's wonderful program on the pharmacovigilance. It gives me an immense pleasure to express my gratitude for all those who have contributed to this particular session. First and foremost, the big thanks to the Dr. Joan. She came here on the vacation. She's supposed to spend her personal time with her parents, but she took out the time especially for you children, so that some valuable insight can be shared with you. So thank you, madam, for sharing your valuable insight. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this valuable insight with our students. I'm sure this knowledge will help our students to enrich their career in the future. I also thanks to Moin sir. He is the well-wisher of our campus and is always concerned about the students, and that we might have witnessed with this session that he has conducted. and he always keep on speaking with us, with me, with Sharik sir, that what he can do for us. And this complete session was his brainchild. And I must thank him for curating this program. He has bringing Dr. John over here and also conducted his session especially on career video in the pharmacovigilance. So thank you, Moin Don sir. I also thanks to the complete organizing team, Professor Reshma, Professor Sabah, Professor Tabriz Khan, Professor Mariam Madam, our all support staff, the Kiran, Arshad, Imtiaz, Hospitality Committee, the registration team led by Professor Shakib Ansari sirs, and all other faculty members who have contributed to this particular event. I also thanks to the director of the campus, Dr. Ramzan Khatik, Dean of School of Pharmacy in his absence here, Dr. Sharik Sayyed. He has also initial work and initial conversation and initial curation of this program was done by the Dr. Sharik. So we must thanks to Dr. Sharik also in his absence here. And at the end, the last but not least, I thanks to the complete cost team for their involvement for the success of this particular event, and all the students for being wonderful audience. Thank you all. Can we have the cost team and organizing team here for group photo? Everyone, please come on the guys.
Thank you, everybody. Now, moving towards the end of the session, we will end it with the national anthem. So I request all to stand in their positions. Thank you. Thank you everybody. Just a small notice that for this session, everyone has to fill the feedback form. The links will be provided to you. On filling the feedback only, the certificates will be issued. So it will be forwarded to CCs. This session has ended. Thank you everyone.
बंद करो हाँ